think we talked a little bit about that. The difficult part of being a caregiver is sometimes you lose someone very close to you. And I've toyed with the idea of kind of back and forth whether we should approach this issue tonight, and I've kind of decided that it would be chicken not to. I think we've all lost someone to a cancer in our lives. And I think it's that relationship and what goes beyond that is an extension of caregiving. I think supporting someone's legacy, allowing the world to shine because someone was here, just as Tony had spoken about, is an important thing for caregivers to do. And I think they caregive far beyond the times that they actually even realize they're caregiving. So I look at this part of the journey maybe a little bit differently. I see my mind has changed many times over it. So I'm going to share a story that I have. I think we have a little bit of time. So we come from a big Catholic family. Generations kind of do that. So I was the oldest grandson. My aunt Annette was the youngest of her generation, my mom's younger sister. And we were 6 years apart, and we shared a birthday. So I got introduced to being a little brother. So I don't know if anybody has little brothers, but man, I found out the hard way. So Ned and I pretty much grew up together. At 16, she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and lived until 42. She died very, very young, but you had never met a more joyful person in your life. Her disabilities seemed to evaporate, and her disabilities were many. And they seemed to evaporate with her joy and her laugh, and I'll never forget that. One time when I was about 18, she was probably in her mid-20s, and she was admitted to the hospital for treatment. Anyone ever been on steroids? Okay, so she was on steroids for her multiple sclerosis, and they kind of make your mind a little flighty and a little, they can kind of magnify any emotion that you have, and for a joyful person, magnified was party time. So it was Saturday night, and so I went in to visit for a half hour, and 3 hours later, and the nurses are kicking me out saying, "You're keeping everybody awake." And we had a wonderful time, and she was going through, "Remember that time when you were a kid and you were chasing me with a frog, and then I squirted you with a hose and you dropped the frog? And then remember that time we were at the pool and I called you over and I had a big bucket of water and I dumped it on your head? And remember that time when we were swimming and I held you under the water and tickled you?" And there was water coming out. Every orifice that I owned, there was water coming out. I'm like, yes, I definitely remember that one. So we're going on about how she used to torture me as a kid, and we just had a great night. It was so much fun. When she did pass away, she chose for her memorial service to be outside. So we were assembled on a lawn of a cemetery, thank you, it was a beautiful fall day. It was one of those days where you feel comfortable in a suit. It was in New England, and there's a bright, bright blue sky and a bright sunshine. And we're all assembled. She was young. There were a whole bunch of people there in a big circle. And the minister approached the podium, and he was just about to speak when you heard, and I'm looking what is that? And then across the circle from me, you begin to see people do like this. And then the whole crowd's moving. And then I heard the same thing behind me, and I'm like, the sprinklers are on. You'd think that only happened in movies, but it actually happened. I'm like, damn if she didn't squirt me one more time. So we remember, Mom? You got it right in the face. I remember. You did skip right down. Because she got us from behind, too. It was just an attack. So, but we couldn't help but say, so is this a coincidence moment? Is it a legacy moment? Or is that still that someone else is letting me know that they're okay? And I've had so many experiences with this. We've been talking about people, and so I'd just like to have a vote. So what do you think? Yes, we've had contact with people after death. Or, no, are you crazy? It was just the sprinklers. It was their time. So I'm going to share with you another one.
who can say for certain? Maybe you're still here. I feel you all around me, your memory so clear. Deep in the stillness, I can hear you speak. You're still an inspiration. Can it be that you are my forever love? And you are walking over me from up above. Fly me up to where you are beyond a distant star. I wish upon tonight to see you smile, if only for a while, to know you're there. A breath away is not far to where you are. Are you gently sleeping here inside my dream? And isn't faith believing all power can't be seen? As my heart holds you just one beat away, I cherish all you gave me every day. 'Cause you are my forever love, watching me from up above. And I believe that angels breathe, and that love will live on and never leave. Fly me up to where you are beyond the distant star. I wish upon tonight to see you smile, if only for a while, to know you're there. A breath away is not far to where you are. I know you're there. A breath away is not far to where you are.
Thanks. I never got that one right in rehearsal either. Need some work. So let's see what we thought. Ha. And that's kind of what I found when I have these discussions with people. They're like, oh yeah, definitely, absolutely. So I've started actually asking caregivers after they've lost someone, have you had that? And there's usually this little wry smile that says, are you really asking that, or are you just trying to figure out what? And there's usually a nice conversation. And I think it goes to maybe the scope of there's more, and that maybe death is, rather than an end to something, maybe it's just kind of a temporary separation where we will meet together, and it's some way of them letting us know that they got here and they're safe, and we can move forward from there. So it's probably their gift to us. For those 21 who haven't experienced it, I'm one of you. I think I include my last one, and maybe it's me, but I kind of include that as one of those crazy coincidences because it does only happen in movies. And I've been very close to a lot of people, and I've never really felt that. So I'm just hoping someday too, because maybe I'm closed off to it. So.